Good morning, students, and welcome to another online physical science class. Today I am going to start a new chapter, that is behavior of gas. So let's start. First, we are discussing about physical properties of gases. Matter exists in three states, namely solids, liquids, and gases. According to kinetic theory, the physical state in which a substance exists is determined by the resultant of the disordering effect of thermal motion and the ordering effect of cohesive forces. Gases differ from liquids and solids in two important respects. The voids in between the molecules are larger and the intermolecular attractive forces are much weaker than in solids and liquids. So there are five properties mainly of gases. Low density gases contain scattered molecules that are dispersed across a given volume and are therefore less dense than in their solid or liquid states. Indefinite shape or volume. Gases have no definite shape or volume, compressibility and expandability, diffusivity and pressure. So expansion, first we are starting with expansion and contraction. When the gas is heated, the molecules gain more energy and move faster and further apart. This causes the volume to increase and that is called expansion of gases. At a lower temperature, the molecules have moved slower and have less energy. They are closer together, causing the volume to decrease. This is called contraction of gases. So from this two terminology, another two terminology will come. That is, first one is expansibility. Gases exhibit unlimited power of expansion. Thus, whatever may be the capacity of the container, the gas occupies the entire space of that container. See the second diagram. Here, one balloon is there. It has been expanded, and before expansion also one picture is there within the bell jar. And the last one is compressibility. The compressibility of a gas is very high. The intermolecular space in a gas being large, the particles can be made to come closer together under pressure. That is why a large amount of air can be pumped into the small volume of a cycle tube or a football bladder. You just see this by a piston, by using a piston, compression of a gas occurs in the third diagram. Now, the another two properties of gases, that is motion of molecules and shape and volume of gases. Unlike solid and liquid state, molecules in gaseous state show random motion. That is the reason gases take the shape of container and spread quickly in space. The random motion of molecules in the gaseous state is due to high kinetic energy in molecules. They have weak intermolecular interactions between them. See the first diagram within a box, within a container, box-like container. Gas is there. So pink color arrow actually showing the random movement of the gaseous molecules. A gas is composed of infinite number of molecules. Molecules of gaseous substances move almost freely and exhibit random motion in all directions. This is because of the negligible intermolecular force of attraction between them. Next one, shape and volume. A gas has neither a definite shape nor a definite volume. It takes the shape and volume of the container in which it is kept. It occupies all the available space in the container because the particles can freely move throughout the space. So a gas is a substance with no definite volume and no definite shape. Solids and liquids have volumes that do not change easily. A gas, on the other hand, has a volume that changes to match the volume of its container. The molecules in a gas are very far apart compared with the molecules in a solid or a liquid. Now see the diagram, second diagram. In case of solid, hole shape, fixed volume. In case of liquid, shape of container, free surface, fixed volume. In case of gas, shape of container, volume of the container. So density and diffusion of gas. Density of gases depends upon the temperature. The higher the temperature, the more the molecules are spread out and the lower the density as shown in the graphic on the left. The result is that warm gases rise and cool gases sink. The same concept helps to explain the weather, resulting in high and low pressures. So gases have lower density than the liquids and solids. Now gaseous particles are in constant random motion. Gaseous particles tend to undergo diffusion because they have kinetic energy. Diffusion is faster at higher temperatures because the gas molecules have greater kinetic energy. Diffusion refers to the movement of gas particles through a small hole. So the spontaneous intermixing of molecules of one gas with another at a given temperature and pressure is called diffusion. It is the random movement of molecules of gas from an area of higher concentration to the area of lower concentration. See the diagram, purple color molecules and green color molecules are there and it is slowly spreading. That means intermixing. So diffusion occurs. One is from gas A and another one is from gas B. So when two or more gases which do not react with each other are brought in contact, they intermix with one another, forming a homogeneous mixture. This spontaneous mixing of gases, that is intermixing of gaseous molecules with one another, is known as diffusion. The last two properties of gases are temperature and pressure. As the temperature increases, the average kinetic energy increases, as does the velocity of the gas particles hitting the walls of the container. The force exerted by the particles per unit of area on the container is the pressure. So as the temperature increases, the pressure must also increase. See a diagram, a nice diagram has been given. A gas container, when heated, temperature and pressure difference has been shown. Temperature shown by thermometer and pressure shown by pressure gauge. So you can say temperature of any gas is the measure of average kinetic energy of the gas molecules. The force exerted by the gaseous molecules per unit area on the wall due to continuous collision of the gas molecules with the walls of the container is called the pressure of the gas. Now units of pressure. Pressure is exerted due to the collision of the gaseous molecules with the walls of the vessel or with any other surface in contact with the gas. The pressure of the gas is defined as the force exerted by the gas molecules per unit area of the wall. A gaseous substance present in a closed vessel exerts equal pressure on entire portion of the vessel. So unit of area, CGS unit centimeter square, SI unit meter square, unit of force, CGS unit dyne and SI unit Newton. So the most frequently used pressure units are Pascal, PA, kilopascal, kPa, megapascal, MPa, PSI, pound per square inch, torr, mmHg, atm, atmospheric pressure, and bar. The pascal is the standard unit of pressure. A pascal is a very small amount of pressure, so the more useful unit for everyday gas pressure is the kilopascal, kPa. A kilopascal is equal to 1000 pascals. Another commonly used unit of pressure is the atmosphere, that is atm. So the pressure of gas is expressed in the unit of atmosphere, atm. The pressure exerted by a mercury column exactly 76 centimeter long at 0 degree Celsius and at standard gravity is termed as 1 atmosphere. Pressure exerted by exactly 1 millimeter of mercury column at 0 degree Celsius and at standard gravity is termed as 1 torr. The commonly used unit of pressure is bar. 1 atm is equal to 1.01325 bar. And pascal is the SI unit of pressure. The pressure exerted when a force of 1 Newton acts on 1 meter square area is called 1 pascal. 1 atm is equal to 76 centimeter Hg equal to 760 millimeter mercury equal to 760 torr. So this is the relation between them. The pressure is also expressed in the unit of pound per square inch or psi. 1 atm is equal to 14.7 psi. So in the diagram, in short, I have mentioned everything like mmHg, millimeters of mercury. Most common pressure tools use column of mercury. Torr, in honor of Torricelli. atm, standard atmosphere pressure. Pa, pascal or kPa, kilopascal. Relationship, again I am telling 1 atm is equal to 760 millimeter mercury is equal to 760 torr equal to 101.325 kilopascal. Example, the pressure of in a container is measured at 927 torr. Convert to atm, millimeter, Hg and pascal. Now measurement of pressure exerted by a gas. A manometer is a device similar to a barometer that can be used to measure the pressure of a gas trapped in a container. A closed-end manometer is a U-shaped tube with one closed arm. One arm that connects to the gas to be measured and a non-volatile liquid, usually mercury, in between. Pressure is measured in units of pascals, and to find the pressure exerted on a surface, simply divide the force in Newton by the area that is in contact with the surface in meter square. See the diagram, manometer diagram has been given. Close-end manometer diagram with mercury has been given. Now I am discussing the process. Very common instrument used for measuring the pressure of gas is manometer. It consists of a U-tube joined with a bulb at one end, and the longer limb of the tube is kept open. From the difference of Hg level in the two limbs of the U-tube, the pressure of the gas inside the bulb can be obtained. Barometer gives the value of the atmospheric pressure in terms of the height of the mercury column in the tube. This can be converted into the units of pressure in the following way. Let the height of the mercury column in the tube is equal to 8 cm area of cross section of the tube, that is a centimeter square. Density of Hg at room temperature d gram per centimeter cube. Weight of the mercury column is equal to Ah dg, where g is equal to acceleration due to gravity. Thus, this mass of Hg column is the force acting on area of a centimeter square. So, we know pressure is equal to force by area. So here AHDG by A equal to AA will be reduced, that is it will come HDG. Unit of volume: at a particular temperature and pressure, the volume of a gas closed in a container is equal to the volume of that container at the same temperature and pressure. So SI unit of volume is meter cube. Smaller units are decimeter cube, centimeter cube, etc. The symbol used for liters is L, capital L, and milliliter is small m, capital L. The relationship among different units are that 1 liter is equal to 10 cube milliliter, equal to 10 cube centimeter cube, equal to 10 cube into 10 to the power minus 1 whole cube decimeter cube. That means 1 decimeter cube. So that you can convert this directly. So 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cube. And 1 meter cube is equal to 10 to the power 6 centimeter cube, equal to 10 cube decimeter cube, equal to 10 cube liter. Now Boyle's law. Boyle's law states that at constant temperature, the volume of a given mass of a dry gas is inversely proportional to its pressure. The empirical relation formulated by the physicist Robert Boyle in 1662 states that the pressure P of a given quantity of gas varies inversely with its volume V at constant temperature. That is, in equation form, PV is equal to K, where K is a constant. Now first in the diagram, Boyle's law in a diagrammatic structure I have shown. For a given mass at constant temperature, the pressure times the volume is a constant. So see, in first one, volume, and the second one, volume you see. Next one. Therefore, it is coming, mathematical expression I am giving. Let the pressure of a definite mass of a gas be P and the volume be V. If the temperature be Tk, capital Tk, that is in Kelvin, then according to Boyle's law, V varies as 1 by P, or else you can write P varies as 1 by V, both the same, when temperature T and the mass m remain constant. So that you can write V is equal to K into 1 by P, where K is equal to proportionality constant, or PV is equal to K. In the diagram also I have shown PV is equal to K. So this is the mathematical expression of Boyle's law. In this equation, K is a constant whose value depends upon the mass and the temperature of the gas. At constant temperature, if the pressure on a definite mass of a gas be P1, P2, P3, P4, etc., and its corresponding volume be V1, V2, V3, V4, etc., then according to Boyle's law, you can write P1, V1 is equal to P2, V2 is equal to P3, V3 is equal to constant, and so on. So this is the ultimate mathematical expression of Boyle's law. Now, graphical representation of Boyle's law. Graphs of Boyle's law, the curve is called PV curve and it is hyperbolic in nature. As observed from the graph above, pressure increases with a decrease in volume and vice versa. Thus, pressure is inversely proportional to volume. So in first case we are getting PV graph, that is a hyperbola. And the second one, PV versus P, we are getting a straight line. So at constant temperature plot of P versus V for a definite mass of gas, we will get hyperbola. Explanation: PV is equal to K constant. This equation represents a rectangular hyperbolic graph. Hence, when the volume of a definite mass of any gas at constant temperature at different pressures are plotted, taking P as the ordinate and V as the abscissa, a rectangular hyperbola is obtained. In the second case, at constant temperature, plot PV versus P for a definite mass of gas. We'll get a straight line. Explanation. After determining the value of PV at different values of P, if a graph is drawn taking PV as ordinate and P as abscissa, a straight line parallel to P axis is obtained. Thank you students. For any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. I just want to remind you that please continue your test paper solving and send me the problems if you have.